A woman came to me with PCOD once. She was tired, had irregular periods, and she was gaining weight. Doctors had told her that it was hormonal and had put her on medications. But no one actually went on to ask her what has been going on in her life emotionally, or what had changed before all of this started. This is where German New Medicine or GNM steps in, because it helps us understand that our body is not actually malfunctioning, it's adapting. How? We are going to discuss soon. Think of it like this. When a fire alarm goes off, what do? Do you start blaming the fire alarm, or do you start asking, where is the fire? Your signs and symptoms, whether it's indications of ovarian cysts, infertility, thyroid issues, or any other morbidity that you can think of, is just the fire alarm. And GNM helps us find where the fire is. Dr. Ryke Geerd Hamer discovered that every disease begins with what he called as a biological conflict. What is a biological conflict? It's a deep emotional shock, unexpected, isolating, and dramatic. Your body registers the shock and activates a survival program. And here's where it gets amazing. It's not random, it's biologically meaningful. For example, issues with ovaries usually is linked to loss of self-worth as a woman. Issues with the thyroid is often linked to a deep feeling of not being able to keep up, or being powerless to be able to keep up, or being too slow. Issues with the uterus is often linked to feeling violated or not being able to nurture. Getting back to the case of that lady that we were talking about, she had had a recent breakup. She felt unloved, rejected, like as a failing as a partner. Even before she could process her pain, her body started responding. Look, in a way, our body has a mind of its own. And with that mind, it started asking questions, the questions that she couldn't herself voice out aloud. What did I do wrong? Am I no longer enough? Am I no longer worthy as a woman? Weeks later, she started experiencing irregular periods, started gaining weight, started feeling tired, and then was diagnosed with PCOD. Now, from a GNM perspective, this isn't random. In her subconscious, this breakup wasn't just emotional. It was a biological signal of loss of mate and of loss of reproduction potential. So to compensate, her body started functioning out of a survival mechanism. Her ovaries, governed by this ancient survival code, went into overdrive to restore her value, her readiness to be a mother again. So even if we term it diagnostically in medical terms as PCOD, what's actually happening is the ovaries are hyper-functioning. Her body wasn't betraying her, it was protecting her. It was speaking the language of survival in response to an emotional pain with a silent biological logic. This is where my work as a homeopath becomes deeply meaningful. When GNM helps us understand where the conflict is, homeopathy helps us release it gently, energetically, and without any side effects. And when we pair this with counseling, journaling, prayer, self-awareness, healing doesn't just remain physical, it becomes personal, deeply spiritual. Women today are not just battling diseases, they are battling disconnection from their bodies, their rhythms, their voices. My role is not to fix them, it is to help them listen, to be able to understand what their bodies had been telling them all along. Healing isn't always fast, it isn't always linear, but it is always possible if you work with the body and not against it. In GNM, once the conflict is resolved, the body enters a healing phase. This is when the symptoms starts intensifying, the pain, the discharges, the fatigue, and many people panic. But it's not regression, it's restoration. The body is trying to clean up, and let's not interrupt it when it's already on the healing path. Symptoms are not enemies, they are messengers by our body. Dr. Hamer gave us a gift. He helped us remember that disease is not a punishment, it is a process. And I truly believe that every woman deserves a healing that honors her stories, her traumas, and her sacred biology. So if you are struggling with your health right now, don't just ask, how do I get rid of this? Rather ask, what is it trying to show me? What is it trying to tell me? Because the moment you stop fighting your body and start listening to it, that's when healing truly begins. And if you need any guidance or help, we are there. You can contact me on the number 7994259944 or email me at HomeeoDocSumi@gmail.com. Thank you for holding space for this conversation. In honor of Dr. Hamer's 90th birth anniversary, may we carry this message forward with compassion, with clarity, with courage, and deep, wholehearted listening. Until next time, stay healthy, stay empowered.